All right, today we're going to talk about something that's not about getting crazy rich. It's about rewiring your brain for way better decisions. We're calling it the 1K rule. And you know what? It all starts with a feeling that I'm willing to bet you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Does a number like that look familiar? Maybe not that exact amount, but the feeling it gives you, that pit in your stomach, it's the kind of bank balance that has a way of waking you up in the middle of the night.
You know, it's 2 a.m. and you're wide awake doing that exhausting mental math dance. Okay, the car payment just went through, rent is due in 5 days. How am I gonna stretch this until the next paycheck? I mean, this isn't just stressful, it's a state of being. It's where every single move you make with money is about one thing and one thing only: survival.
And that right there, that is what we're calling the 2 a.m. crisis. This is that mental space where, let's be honest, really bad decisions are born. They all come from a place of fear and scarcity, and it's a cycle that is incredibly hard to break. But what if tonight felt different? Just imagine it. Imagine a quiet, steady stream of $1,000 flowing into your account every single month. And it's money you didn't have to trade your precious hours for. Now look, you're not suddenly a millionaire, not even close, but something way more important has just happened. Your brain is about to fundamentally change the way it operates. So let's dive into our next section, the anxiety threshold. You know, most financial advice is completely obsessed with some far-off million-dollar finish line, but they totally ignore a much more important psychological milestone, and that is the anxiety threshold. So what is it? The anxiety threshold is that magic point where your passive income, money you're not actively working for, covers your absolute basic survival needs. We're talking groceries, utilities, keeping a roof over your head. This isn't about buying a yacht, it's about knowing deep down that if everything else in your life went completely sideways, your basic survival is actually guaranteed. And just think about this for a second, really. When was the last time you made a major life choice, like with your career, based on what you wanted to do, instead of what you had to do just to cover next month's bills? See, those are what we call scared money decisions. What's so wild is what happens when that $1,000 is guaranteed. Your entire nervous system just relaxes. That little primal voice in the back of your head, the one that is constantly calculating every possible worst-case scenario, it finally goes quiet. So if this is so powerful, why doesn't everyone get there? Well, it's because there are two major mindset traps that just sabotage our freedom before we can even really get started.
Okay, trap number 1 is focusing on the wrong goal entirely. The old way is to stare up at this impossible mountain, right? Like, I have to save $300,000 just to get $1,000 a month in dividends. It's just defeating before you even start. The new milestone is the $1,000 floor itself. It's a tangible first step you can actually reach with skill and leverage. And it transforms you from being a worker who sells hours to a capital owner who owns systems. It's a huge shift.
And this quote, this just perfectly illustrates the second, and honestly, the more dangerous trap. Once people start generating just a little bit of passive income, we're talking even a couple $100, what's the first thing they do? They immediately spend it.
We call this the lifestyle sprint. You justify, a fancier coffee subscription or an extra dinner out because, hey, it's free money, right? Wrong. By consuming that income, you completely destroy the psychological buffer it was meant to create in the first place. And boom, you're right back to living paycheck to paycheck, just at a slightly higher, more expensive baseline. And this brings us to the real prize, the real superpower you get from all of this. See, the power of the 1K rule isn't really the cash. It's what it does to your ability to think. What you get is a decision quality shift. Here's the thing. People in survival mode take terrible deals. They have to. They can't afford to wait for something better. But when your basics are covered, you can finally stop making these desperate short-term choices and start making strategic, long-term moves. This gives you the superpower to just say no. You get walking away money, which means you can negotiate way harder for that raise you actually deserve. You can afford to wait for a great investment instead of just chasing the latest hype.
Your time itself becomes more valuable. And maybe most importantly, you prove to yourself, once and for all, that money can work for you, completely separate from you trading your time for it.
Okay, so how do we actually do this? How do we make it happen? Well, crossing the anxiety threshold isn't about willpower. It's not about trying harder. It's about architecture. It's about building a system that does the work for you.
So here's the roadmap. It's simple. First, define your floor. Sit down and calculate your exact bare minimum survival number. No fluff. Second, hijack your own paycheck. Automate a percentage of your income to go directly toward your passive assets. Think a simple index fund, whatever, before it ever even hits your checking account. You can't spend what you don't see. And third, live by the 48-hour rule. The moment that money is set aside, you deploy it within 2 days. Get it working for you immediately.
Now, building this buffer, it takes patience. It really is like planting an orchard. You're not going to get the shade or the fruit on day one. It's not going to happen. But if you are consistent, you are slowly but surely building a financial fortress that, down the road, the system simply cannot touch. So the question I want to leave you with is this. With every dollar you earn, with every choice you make, are you building that fortress brick by brick? Or are you just burning the treasure map because you feel a little cold right now? The choice is always yours.